hope you're doing good. So in today's video, I want to give you guys an answer to a question that I've always struggled with, a question that I've always had difficulties, finding the right answer for it, right? But what I've came to realize is that the answer to this question actually varies. Like there's no single answer, there's no single truth to this question, right? And that question is, should you go after high ticket clients or should you go after low ticket clients and more of them, right? Versus going after high ticket clients and fewer of them, right? This is a question that I know that a lot of people, also go over, right? Even the people who are already making money always have this question, and they're always going back and forth with like, okay, should I chase this or should I chase this? Should I chase this or should I chase this, right? Should I have clients paying me 10, 15 grand a month or maybe one time? Or should I go after clients paying me a few $1,000s a month or less, right? And my goal with this video to show you guys that there's no truth, there's no right or wrong. It all depends on what is your actual desired outcome, right? So hopefully you guys will get to enjoy this video and get to enjoy my answer to this question, right? But before I get started, I want to announce the winner from last video, right? So I'm doing this $500,000 season thing. And every single week for the video that drops on Wednesday, I'll be giving away $500 to the person who leaves a comment, likes the video, subscribes to my channel, and also tags me on Instagram whenever it's done, right? So comment, leave the most helpful thing you got from this video, and then like, subscribe, and also tag me on Instagram, right? But the winner from last week's video, his name is Joseph Brown. His comment was, "This is truly a banger," aka a Banksy. Although that wasn't necessarily the most valuable thing you got from the video, I still agree with you that it was a banger, so we'll give you the $500. So please DM me on Instagram and let's get you your $500. Just shoot me your PayPal and then I'll send you the money, right? So I'm gonna be doing this for the next, I think, 4 to 5 weeks, right, until the end of this year. So please be on the lookout on each video that I drop on Wednesdays, and leave a comment and get paid for it, right? But let's go back to this, to the topic of this video, right? What is, should you go after high ticket clients or should you go after low ticket clients, right? So like I said in the beginning of this video, the answer to the question is dependent on the desired outcome of the business owner, right? And I personally believe there are two desired outcome that a business owner can have, right? One person can have either the desire to be free, right? So they actually want to be free, meaning they want to be able to do what they want to be doing, whenever they want to be doing it, with whomever they want to be doing it with, right? But I personally believe that the freedom also means that you get to not only just do it for yourself, but you also get to do it for everyone that you love, right? If you're free yourself, that's not really, for me, it's like, I don't aspire to just be free personally. I'd love to have so much freedom that I can genuinely just share it with whoever that I want to share it with, meaning my freedom, they also get to experience it within their own life, right? So if my brothers want to be driving, Range Rovers or Porsches, like, cool, let's go to the dealership, let's get you a Range Rover or a Porsche, right? If I find a girl that I like, if she wants to have dinner in New York City this evening, let's go have dinner wherever you want, right? If you want to go to Italy for a weekend, cool, let's do it, right? So like, that's what I mean by freedom. Freedom is not like, hey, I get a nice car. No, guys, that's not really freedom, right? It's actually selfish. If the only person that you can help is yourself, you're actually being selfish, right? But anyway, so the other desired outcome is to be rich, right? And in my opinion, being rich means you're just well paid, right? That's it. Being well paid for me is making, maybe $500,000 a year, $1 million profit, maybe even making a few millions a year. In my opinion, is just being well paid, and you can be rich with that, right? But being rich is completely different from being free, right? And I know a lot of people say being free means you're wealthy, but not necessarily, because you don't need 100 million or $1 billion to be free, right? You can maybe have like 50 million and then never have to work ever in your life again, right? So now let's talk about high ticket versus low ticket clients, right? Now, if you want freedom, right? Because we got to start with the end in mind in order to answer this question, right? There's no right answer. It is always dependent on like, hey, what do you actually want, right? In my opinion, if you want to be rich and be well paid, then high ticket is the right route, the right path for you. But if you want to be free, funny enough, you cannot just rely on high ticket clients, right? You've got to rely on volume. Freedom comes from scale, right? And the truth is that high ticket clients require an insane level of attention, because you're not just selling them a commodity anymore. You're selling them an experience, right? And experiences are not meant to be scaled, right? Let me explain this. We can look at even at the car industry. The number of units sold by Rolls-Royce, or what's another, maybe Bentleys, or Ferraris, has nothing to do with the volume of cars being sold by Toyota, right? And you can see that, hey, this car costs $500,000, Toyota costs 30 grand, right? The car that Rolls-Royce is selling or that Ferrari is selling, their goal is not to be like, hey guys, how can we sell 1 billion cars every year? Because they don't really care about that. They make so much profit from each single unit that they sell that they don't need the volume to make a lot of money, right? On the other hand, Toyota cares only about volume. They don't care about giving you an experience. You go into the shop today, you will come out with a car, right? Like today, I actually went to try to get a winter car. I went to Range Rover, and they literally just only had 2 cars to sell in their whole entire shop, right? So I was like, okay guys, I'll just take this one, right? But you've got to figure out what you want. Do you want to be rich? I personally think that being rich means you focus on high ticket clients and you give them an amazing experience, right? And you're gonna be amazingly paid, right? But if you want to be free, if you want to remove yourself from the whole experience, because one thing that I know is that I will hardly ever remove myself from our main program, which is the $500,000 Done For You $500,000 Systems Implementation Program, because I generally want to give my time to every single client who comes in, because I'm selling them something that is high ticket, right? I'm not hoping to just sell 1 billion people in the program at all. I don't want that, right? Because it's not actually scalable, right? I want to give a lot of time to each client. I want to give them an experience. I want to make sure that every single thing is taken care of, right? And I want to just average 20, 30, 40 clients a month and never more than that, right? Now, if I actually want to build and be free, if I want to achieve freedom, I can't keep selling this main program. I need to start selling something at scale, right? And the best way to actually understand what I'm talking about is, if you were an investor, would you invest and buy a company that has 10 good paying clients, like good, high paying clients? Or would you buy a company with 100 clients paying this company 2 grand a month, right? So on this left side here, you have 10 clients paying 20 grand a month. On this side, you have 100 clients paying 2 grand a month, right? As an investor, which one would you pick, right? If you're a smart investor, you have to understand that the goal is not to win, the goal is to avoid losing. So if you want to mitigate your downside, you would choose this company here, which has 100 clients at 2 grand a month, right? Because your goal is not to work. Your goal is not to be rich. Your goal is to be free. You need a machine that cash flows and that is profitable and that you don't have to be involved in, right? But if you were to buy this company, the truth is that each single client requires so much attention because they're paying you so much money that at the end of each single month, they're going to question if the price to value discrepancy tightens up. That business owner is going to come to you and be like, at the end of the month, before they sign that check, they're going to be like, why am I paying you 10 grand a month? Why am I paying you 100 grand a month again? Can you please elaborate, right? So every single time they're going to question the reason why they're paying you so much money. Because if the price, and this is something also, I'm going on a tangent right now, but I just tweeted earlier today that it should cost more to replace you than it is to pay you, right? So if you currently have clients that they could replace you tomorrow and it would cost them less than they're currently paying you, then you don't actually have a business. You don't have a retention play. You're literally one sunny day away from going broke. Because if I can tell you one thing, and as someone who's paid, last month I actually paid like 128 grand in payroll, right? I can tell you that every single month I ask myself, why am I paying certain people this amount of money, right? So if you're working for a company and they could generally replace you for less than what they're currently paying you, I can tell you that they will do it over time and inevitably, right? Because as a business owner, I'm not just trying to I don't like waste, right? Every single dollar that I spend, I need it to be efficient. I need it to produce a positive ROI, right? So I see a lot of people are like, oh, I only want high ticket clients. I'm like, well, do you know the risk that comes with just only working with high ticket clients? Right? I know a guy, I signed up for this mastermind a few months ago, and he has, generally like less than 10 clients a month. He's making like 300 grand profit every single month, right? But the truth is that if he loses a client, he loses 10-20% of his monthly revenue. So even though he has less clients or less headache, the truth is that there's so much risk associated with his model, which is a performance model, right? He gets paid 10 grand a month plus 10% of, I think, return on ad spend, or the different margins left from what's profits from the money that he spends on ads, right? But I'm like, I would never pick this model, even though it's really good, because my goal is to be free. I don't want to be in the trenches every day and being rich, but still doing most of the work, right? So the answer is, for me, I'm building client acquisition at IO more so as an investor. I want to build something that can create generational wealth, right? Because I'm past wanting to be rich, guys. Like I'm good with that. I don't just want to be like, hey, 60-70% profit margins. I generally don't care about that, right? I want to be able to build something that can make every single person on my team rich and never having to need another opportunity, right? That's my goal. So maybe for you, maybe all you care about is, having a really nice penthouse, having maybe 2 cars, one for winter, one for summer. You want to be able to travel whenever you want, but still generally be in the trenches, working every day, fulfilling for your clients. Then please go the high ticket route, right? But if you genuinely want freedom from having to work for your money, then scale is what you need. If you look at Google, if you look at Apple, if you look at Tesla, if you look at all these bigger companies, if you look at Slack, they're not worried about, hey, how can I get clients paying me or enterprises paying me 100 grand a month? No, they're selling to the big enterprises, but they're also selling to you. And you know what? They're selling to you and you're not even paying anything, because Slack at a certain point is free, right? But that's a software company, so it's pretty different, right? But they'll figure out a way to charge you $10 a month, but they'll also figure out a way to charge someone 100 grand a month, right? So the truth is, you actually need to combine both eventually. If you really want to build something amazing, you need to be able to offer an amazing experience, so high quality service, but you also need to offer something that is low ticket that almost everyone can afford, right? That's what you'll see with our service. It's like, I've built the main program for people who generally want an experience, people who want to make it a reason for them not to succeed, right? But if you want to go high level sales process, system, simplified system, you can buy that. It's $69 a month. You can find the link below, by the way. If you want a trained setter, you can get on a call. We'll give you a trained setter for a lot less than what you would normally have to pay to get our full experience, right? If you want to go a cold email system build, you can buy that, right? So I'm actually combining both, because I've realized that I don't just want high ticket clients, right? I want to be free, guys. Like, I genuinely want to build a company that can make sure that every single person on my team is taken care of. It's not about Serge anymore. And hopefully, with you guys consuming a lot of my content, maybe you guys will get to a point where what you guys also wish for or desire is freedom, and not just to be rich. Because guys, being rich, it's like you're at the mercy of your clients. For me today, if I don't like a client, if they're doubtful around our process, I'll give them their money back and I'll be like, hey, you can leave. Like, I don't want you here. I have the choice to choose who I serve, because I've made the decision that I want to be big. I don't want to be a small fish, right? Small fishes get thrown around by their client, right? It's like you're like a dog for them, right? I'm gonna use this word because it's gonna explain better what I mean. But you don't want to be your client's little bitches, right? If you're your client's little bitch, then is it worth the money that they're paying you? Would you sacrifice your potential just for 10 grand a month, for 5 grand a month, for 20 grand a month? There's no amount of money that can make me want to be someone's little bitch. Like, I don't care, you know what I mean? And by the way, maybe you guys can blip this out, right? But exactly, like, what I mean is, like, guys, chase scale, I promise you. Because at scale, you build an amazing team and the team gets rich while making you rich, right? That's the play. How can you get your team to be rich? Because they're helping you get rich, right? So yeah, guys, it's not high ticket versus low ticket, it's both. right? If you want high ticket, then understand that there's a big risk to you staying small. If there's a recession, if there is, maybe your clients or your Facebook starts having troubles, or YouTube ads starts having trouble, or your outreach channel starts having trouble, right? Then all your clients will leave. And even if you were making $1 million a year, you can literally go back to making 10 grand a month in no time. So it's like, for me, I never want that. I want to be able to make sure that I never can lose. And the only way you can make sure that you never lose is by becoming the Google of your industry, right? I said something on a tweet the other day. I was like, my goal is to become so good that even my competitor would rather their prospects do business with us because they know that we're fucking good. That's what I mean by being big, guys. Like, be so good that you build the best services, but that you also build the best services but that are affordable, so you can have both, the best of both worlds. High ticket clients, but also low ticket clients, right? You can look at Grant Cardone. He'll sell you a bracelet, right? But he will also sell you $100,000 seat for 10x for a 10x event, right? So that's my answer. I personally am an investor in my company. I'm not just trying to get rich off of it. I generally want to be free and make my team rich. Have a beautiful day, guys. Bye-bye.